Hello guys, and welcome back to Car Obsession. If you are a new viewer, hello, thank you so much for joining me. My name's Aaron and welcome to my channel. In this video I've got the brand new Ford Focus Active, and as you can probably tell by the title, I am going to be going through the infotainment system. So with that in mind, let me get my little camera out and let me show you the system. So it is an 8-inch display. And yes, I know it kind of looks like someone's got a tablet and superglued it on the top. Yeah, it's not the greatest design in my opinion, but needs must, I suppose. Right, let's turn the ignition on so you get to see the system. It can take a few moments for it to load up. Now, I must admit, when I first used the Ford Sync 3 system, which is what this is, when I first used it 1 or 2 years ago, I must admit I was a little bit underwhelmed by it. I found the display looked a little bit plain and a little bit uninspiring, and yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it. However, the more I've used it, the more I have come to like it. Yes, the display is a little bit plain Jane, and it's not. It hasn't got the most amount of flair you will find in the car market, but it's functional and it works well. So it's not offensive, it's just, well, plain, if you ask me. So as standard, I've got DAB radio, I've got Bluetooth, navigation and smartphone connectivity. So this is your home page. So as you can see, I've got the navigation on the left, got audio, and I've got the Bluetooth for my phone, of course. So let's go to audio. Oh. There we go. So, as you can see, I've got the DAB radio on there at the moment, but you've got a button there, marked sources, where you can change it. So, AM, FM, DAB, or of course, Bluetooth. And then you've got an arrow on the top left, where you can go back. As you can see, you can change the stations. Oh, I missed it. And I can select a different station if I wanted to. You can turn the traffic announcements on or off. You've also got DAB info. And it basically gives you another pop-up menu, and you can swipe across at the bottom to find other stations, like so. And it works pretty well. You do of course have Bluetooth connectivity, so you've got all of your functions for your phone, which is pretty handy, but let's face it, in 2019 this is far from groundbreaking. Even the most basic cars come with Bluetooth nowadays. You've got navigation. I will be doing a sat-nav test in due course, so I will come back to that. You can change it to, you can change the views like so. Yep, have it like that. And last but not least, I do have smartphone connectivity. So let me plug my phone in. Hopefully I won't lose my audio recording, because as you can see, I'm using my phone to record the audio. And as you can see, I've now got Android Auto. So I've got an Android phone, therefore of course I use Android Auto. If you have an iPhone, you will of course use Apple CarPlay. So the Android Auto is pretty much, well, it is the same as what you would get on any other car that has Android Auto. So you've got your landing page, your home page as it were. You've got navigation. You can either use Google Maps or Waze. You've got phone functions like so. Music. And then you've got well, I would say a button, but it's not really a button, is it? A touchscreen, but you've got a logo here. Hit it, and then you can go back to the inbuilt system like so. You've also got a few buttons down here to support the touchscreen, so that's to change the volume, like that. Or you can use that button to mute it, then unmute it. That button there is for your sound settings. This car does have the B&O sound system, but there is an optional extra for this car. But as you can see, you've got the sound settings, got buttons to change the tracks, play and pause, and that is to not turn it off, but you get a very minimal display for the touchscreen. Press it again, and then you turn it off altogether. Press it once more to bring it back. And of course, you do have buttons on the steering wheel as well. So you've got volume controls on the left hand side, and then you can change the track or pick up a phone call or hang up, and you've also got voice recognition as well. Right, so let me unplug my phone, and I will actually pop this down for a few moments, and I will do a sat-nav test. Now, of course, I will use the inbuilt system and not Google Maps or Waze, because that seems pretty pointless in my opinion. So let me get a postcode for you. So navigation, destination, search, and pop the postcode like so. And search. As you can see, that's pretty slick, pretty fast, and I will hit start. So the voice commands are muted. I will turn them on so you get an idea of how the voice sounds, but I will turn it down or turn it off after a bit, because I know it's likely to get a little bit annoying. So this is going to be a short journey. I'm travelling to a place called Bockett's Farm, which is about 3 miles away from here, give or take. So yes, it won't take too long to get there. Right, let me pop my little camera down. Now, normally at this point, I would put my head mount GoPro on, but because I've changed phone and my new phone doesn't want to connect to any of my GoPros, I don't want to put the GoPro on my head and give you a really crap angle. So that's why I've got this one above my head. And I have tested the angle, so you should get a decent angle from this camera. In fact, let me turn it on. Oh, just banged my head on it. Right, it's a little bit wonky. So, away we go. Engine on. Pop the car into drive. This Focus has got the 8-speed automatic. Right, waiting for, so I need to turn left out of here. Make sure that GoPro's recording. It is. Fantastic. So I wouldn't say the display is anything fancy, but as I may have said earlier, it is functional and it does get the job done. Now, this isn't the way I would go, because I do know this area, and this road, as you can see, is quite tight in places. And if you do get a car come the other way, it can be quite interesting. But obviously, a sat-nav will pick the most direct route, and this is obviously it. For what it's worth, this appears to be the same route that the, what car was it? The Honda CR-V Hybrid. That was the car I had last week. That picked exactly the same route. So sat-navs clearly think
in a quarter of a mile, turn right onto High Barn Road.
The sat-navs clearly think this is the best way, which it isn't really. But at least I get a nice drive through the country, I suppose. Now, if you want to know more about this car as overall, there will of course be a full review coming. That will be coming in a few days, or maybe 1 or 2 weeks. I have had a lot of editing to do recently. I've been a very busy boy. But yes, this video is focusing purely on the infotainment system. So if you want to know more about the car overall, check back for the comprehensive review.
Make a slight right turn now.
Now that's pretty good, because when I had the Honda...
Quarter of a mile, turn right onto A246.
I'm going to turn her off now. When I had the Honda, that navigation, which was supplied by Garmin, it didn't recognise that as a junction or a turning, but the Ford system has. So, well done, Ford. I quite like the way how you get a zoomed in image on the right hand side. Just gives you a better view. I quite like that. Now it'd be interesting to see where this takes me, because when I used the same postcode in the CRV, it took me past my destination and it took me about half a mile down the road. Now that could be just because of the postcode used, but I did double check it was the correct postcode, so it could well be the navigation, but we will soon see. So by the looks of it, I think this sat-nav is going to do the same thing, i.e. take me past my destination. So I think that's a problem with the postcode as opposed to the navigation systems. But like I said, I did double check, it is the correct postcode. But I quite like it gives you the road name at the bottom. Also, well, I was going to say, as you can see, but you probably can't see because the icons are quite small, but it gives you petrol stations on here. So it told me I passed a BP back there, and it tells me I'm about to pass an Esso, which I will. I'm pretty sure it's on my left hand side. Also, because I've got the head-up display, I also get my navigation on the display up here, which is very nice indeed. Now, in case you are wondering, the head-up display is an optional extra. It is not standard on this car. So the sat-nav is telling me to go straight across, even though the destination is there. I'm literally passing it as we speak. So it's clearly a problem with the postcode. And at the end, I've got a checkered flag to obviously indicate that I have reached my destination. And also get a little checkered flag on the head-up display as well, which is a nice touch. And boom, I'm here, apparently. And then it tells me you have arrived at Fetcham, Leatherhead, England. But of course, my destination is actually back up there. So let me spin the car around, go up and park, and I will give you my conclusion. So there we have it, guys, the Ford Sync 3 infotainment system. Overall thoughts, I think it is a good system. It works well. Yes, it does take a few moments to boot up, but once it gets going, it's pretty slick, it's pretty responsive. What would I change about it? In all honesty, not much. I would just want to give the design a little bit more flair, a bit more panache, a little bit more showmanship, so to speak. But it's functional, it's clear, I think it's intuitive, I think it's user-friendly. So what more can you ask for from an infotainment system? So Ford, you get a thumbs up from me. Speaking of thumbs up, if you have enjoyed this video or if you have found it useful, please do give it a thumbs up. If you are subscribed, please don't forget to click that bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. And if you aren't subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe for more car obsession.